before. I don't really know like what's going on with my back. It's like a slip disc. It's pinching my nerve. So I cannot hit legs for like the next month until this problem is resolved. I have to go to physical therapy on a weekly basis. We're gonna try to fix it. It's gonna get fixed. I have hope. So for the next 3-4 weeks, maybe even more, maybe less, I'm not exactly sure. No legs, no loose standing overhead presses, nothing that's gonna compress my spine. So as it turns out, my career is coming to an end. My career that never started. My back can't handle it anymore. We're gonna need surgery, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recover. I'm just kidding. I do have my MRI here though. I have the old one too, but we're just gonna go over the new one here right now. I'm gonna read off the impression that the radiologist gave. Now keep in mind, radiologists can miss things, but we actually did call and to make sure that she didn't miss anything, so should be all good here. So the few things that she noted was there's mild level scoliosis of the lumbar spine. We already knew that. That's something that I'm currently working on. It's honestly not something that is really major at all. It's something I didn't even fucking realize that I had for years until I really started to take note of like the little differences I had to make when I was posing and you know why I was out of alignment and stuff like that. But it all makes sense looking back in retrospect, you know, why I had these problems and imbalances that I do. And it's something that really should have been addressed when I was much younger, but somehow that got missed. So the second thing she noted was L3-4, mild diffuse disc bulge, which causes mild compression of the ventral aspect of the thecal sac and mild bilateral foraminal narrowing. Now, I am not a radiologist, nor am I an expert in spines, but that's not too bad.
They still haven't contacted you at all?
Who?
The people, one who took the MRI and or anybody else that read it. Okay.
The chiropractor that ordered it, yeah. He basically, well, he called the radiologist, this person who goes over the MRI, right?
Yeah.
To double check to make sure that she didn't miss anything because he was a little confused on the L4, L5 thing.
Yeah.
But basically, I guess what they are assuming is based on the prior MRI because there was that 8mm extrusion. I don't know why they didn't like measure the distance this time.
Yeah.
I don't know if
you got it done at the same spot too.
No, that was in Denver, the last one.
Okay. So think about it this way, right? When I kind of explained this to other people before. So with like an extrusion, right, you have to realize like the chemical compound, like components of the inside of the disc has never been exposed to the rest of the body.
Yeah.
Right. So the body's going to treat that like a virus. So a lot of that stuff, when it does like come out, the whatever the components are within the disc, when they come out, they get attacked by the body, right? So it kills off whatever it is, reabsorbs it, whatever you want to call it. But that's where you could have like the chemical reaction or chemical radiculitis of like sciatic related symptoms or just nerve related pain. Whereas compression causes its one, and then chemical is a whole different one. Yeah. So once those components are gone, they're no longer in there, right? So now you just have a flattened disc or a dead disc is however you want to call it. But you can have like resorption of a disc. It can move back in. So I'm going to go with that as to why they didn't measure it.
The actual, like I saw the MRI because we put it in.
Yeah.
It looks worse.
Okay, so it looks
further out.
Compared to the previous one?
Yeah, which doesn't make sense to me.
So sometimes where it might look further out, you have to realize when reading an MRI, there's multiple different angles. You're looking at it from where you were looking at this view, right?
The side.
Yeah, from the side view. So you have to also make sure that you can see it from the top. Yeah. That's where you're really going to be able to make measurements and like actually be able to see it. So whereas where it may look worse from one side, it might not actually be that bad. That's why looking at it from the top and having them read it from the top and having it measure it is going to be more ideal. Okay? So like them not measuring it could be a fact that it has like resorbed a little bit. It's been a good amount of time. From a symptom standpoint, would you say it's been better or worse since then?
It's worse because now it's on my right leg too.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the
So that's
right
where
leg.
now, and especially with the report where it was saying it was compressing on the thecal sac, if you read that portion of it, starts getting a little bit more like nervous, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
what is that?
It's literally it's an actual thing. It's called your thecal sac. It's the bottom portion of your spine towards the lower portion of your spine, and it's just being compressed on. It's not going to change the terms like the severity of it. It's not going to change the symptomology of it. It just means that it's being compressed.
I'm being forced to learn about a lot of this stuff, which is one of the better things, I guess, about this entire experience that has been going on for 7, almost 8 fucking years now. Who would have thought? But now that I really have fully just surrounded myself with this problem and have been trying to figure it out. I've been forced to learn a lot about the spine and all these things, but I still don't know that much, so I'm not going to try to explain these things that I don't fully understand and act like I do know. But the other thing she noted was L4, L5. There is a mild to moderate diffuse disc bulge with a small to moderate size broad base superimposed central disc protrusion that is causing moderate compression of the ventral aspect of the thecal sac, and together with mild bilateral facet arthropathy, which is arthritis of the spine, and hypertrophy, so the facets are growing, causing moderate central canal stenosis, moderate to severe bilateral recess stenosis, and moderate bilateral foraminal narrowing, left side greater than right. L5 S1, no disc herniations or bulges are present, mild bilateral facet arthropathy, and hypertrophy cause mild bilateral foraminal narrowing, left side greater than right. So really, I'm sure the most people watching this have no idea what the fuck I even just said, but the main problem is the L4, L5, L4, 5, whatever, however you say it. But I have facet hypertrophy and arthropathy there, which means, you know, I have arthritis. I'm not sure if the arthritis applies to the entire spine or just that area, but the hypertrophy means that the little things on the side of the spine are growing because the disc is compressed. There's less space there, and when they get close to each other, from my understanding, they basically like feed off of each other. They pull calcium from each other, which causes that hypertrophy to occur. I'm not sure. I know you could slow it down. I don't know to what extent, how bad that will get in the future. I have no idea. Same with the arthritis. I'm not sure if that's inevitably going to get really bad, or if the stuff that I'm doing can potentially improve that from worsening over years. And then obviously, you know, the hypertrophy of those areas is what I'm assuming causes that stenosis, which is just, you know, the narrowing of the canals where the nerves run through. So that's what is compressing nerves. But I think the main issue is just the protrusion, which last year, a year and a half ago, was initially an extrusion with 8mm extrusion. I'm not sure why they didn't measure it this time. I don't know how they do things. I guess it all depends on who reads the MRI and who does the report. So another person could have done this and they could have wrote something completely else a different way, I guess. But what we are assuming happened is the initial extrusion, so the disc material that got leaked out, was reabsorbed, and I'm left with this protrusion now, which is still just as bad. So really, the end point from this MRI is that nothing has really improved. It's definitely gotten worse just based off of my symptoms that I have, because it's now in my right leg, and it was only in the left leg for those first 6 or 7 years or whatever. Now all of a sudden it's in my right leg too, constantly. So something moved around there. There is something compressing, being compressed more. But she did not note that I needed surgery. So that's a good thing, but I've also been told many times in the past by many different professionals that I should look into getting a dissectomy for this, because the problem that I have is just seems to be such a direct solution, but obviously I don't want to get surgery. I feel like that's the easy way out, and there's also a lot of risk that comes with surgery too. You know, as far as I'm aware and what I've been told, there is not a lot of risk to a microdissectomy, and it could be a fairly quick thing to do, and I could recover quick, and I could get this issue eliminated with. But then really, like, I still have to address the problems that I'm addressing now already, which is these imbalances and the lack of stability, which has contributed to this problem over years 100%. So I'm still going to have to go through this process regardless. Now, can I go through this process and fix the pain without having the surgery? I don't know. That's what we're going to see, and that's what I'm hoping to do. I do have hope, and I have belief in myself. I don't think that I will 100% need surgery. But if it comes down to it, and I do these things for the next few months and dedicate all my time and effort into this, doing the daily mobility stuff, entirely changing the way that I'm approaching training, if I'm going to the chiro, going to see Umar, going to another PT that I'm seeing on a weekly basis as well, if I'm doing all this stuff in conjunction every week, every day for months on end, and I don't see any improvements, then I am probably going to go see a few orthopedics, get their opinions on whether or not they think I should be really considering surgery. And if it seems worth it at that time, maybe I'll do it. But obviously my intention is to push that off for as long as possible and to resolve this on my own, because if I can resolve this on my own, that'd be pretty fucking cool. Now, if I can literally cure myself of pain that I have been ridden with for the past 7-8 years of my life, and that's what I'm hoping to do. That's the goal here. So right now, that's just the priority. Everything I'm doing is all the bodybuilding stuff I'm doing is temporarily on hold. That's not the priority right now, so I'm not going to compete this year. There's no fucking chance of that happening, and it is unfortunate, but I'm still only 24. I have a lot of time. I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. I've never been in a rush. And the reality is that if I don't take care of this now and get myself healthy into a better position where I'm not constantly in pain, there will be no future in bodybuilding. The end will be fairly soon. Maybe I could push through another prep. Maybe I could shoot for a pro card. But guess what? Then I'm going to be in a lot of fucking pain. This entire past prep, every morning I would wake up, do my posing, do that stuff, and my whole body, it's not just aching because your fatigue is high in prep. Like, that plays a factor in that, obviously, you know, exacerbate this issue. But my entire legs would just be fucking, what's what I'm looking for? Radiating. Yeah, my entire legs would just be radiating in nerve pain in the morning. I'd go through poses, especially when I hit my ab and thigh, just straight down my, it's so fucking painful. And I don't want to go through it. It's literally just not worth it. I want to be able to have kids and fucking run around with them in the next 10 years. I want to be able to walk around at the store and not be in pain. It's just, it's gotten to the point where I'm fucking over it. I'm so sick of it, and I've pushed it off for far too long. And a lot of it was just me dancing around the issue from the minute I found out about it. I'm sure Grant's gonna put in the clip here of when I was fucking 17 talking about when I first got the injury, and I was 16 or 17 there. I don't even remember, but I was under the impression that it might have been a disc herniation. I don't know. I was getting a lot of different answers from different people, a PT who didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, because that's what happens. You're gonna run into people who don't know their shit, and you might run into somebody good, and that's just how it is. But for the longest time, I was under the impression that it was pure firmus syndrome. So all I did was address it through deep tissue work and try to, you know, do myofascial release on my own, go through stretches. And sometimes it gave me temporary relief, and I kind of just ignored it. And over time, it got worse and worse and worse. Sometimes it would kind of dissipate and go away. And then I would, you know, do something stupid in the gym or go too heavy or not do something I don't even know. I would go snowboarding and it would just flare up like crazy and I wouldn't be able to get up for days. And over the years, it just got much worse. And especially this past year, once I started to go into prep, before that, that's when it appeared in my right leg. And it just became so bad at this point where it's just not something that I'm willing to ignore anymore. I know it's something that will continue to get worse. And at the same time, I do believe that I can improve it. And I've never taken the time to solely focus on improving it. It's always been something I've pushed off, did like this passive management for it, but I still bodybuilded full time. I was still going to the gym, putting 500 pounds on my back. I was still picking up 500 pounds from the floor. I was doing all the shit you shouldn't be doing. I wasn't doing mobility stuff. I wasn't working on stability. I wasn't addressing any of the things that I'm doing now. So right now I'm not eliminating bodybuilding, but I'm nowhere near as focused on it as I was, you know, back then. It's on hold. Right now, everything revolves around this injury, and I've never taken the time to do that. So I'm really interested to see how far I could get, what improvements I can make over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, just by dedicating my time to this. And I'm excited for you guys to follow along too, because if I am able to improve it, it's going to be fucking awesome, and it'll be one hell of a testimonial. And you guys will be able to pick up stuff from here for free that you may be able to implement into your daily life and routine as well, if you are dealing with similar issues. Obviously, it's not going to be the exact same as me. I can't tell you to do what I'm doing, but there are going to be some things that you definitely could be able to pick up from everything I'm going to be showing you guys over the next few months that may help you alleviate some pain as well, and maybe give you some insight and perspective. So that's a bonus.
From a strength standpoint, we have hip hinging with or without a stick on the back. I like that one. Alternating hip switches.
You can just do other shit too. I don't know if there's shit you want me to do to get this to activate.
What, from the glute standpoint?
Yeah, from this. I don't know if there's like just things
I
you
was just saying from the glute standpoint,
do.
fuck yeah, dude, I actually do want to. So we'll go run through that stuff. We'll go glute and lower back stuff. But I want to be really careful with your hyperextension without irritating it. Have we got a road bench on the Smith machine?
It's crazy. I didn't even notice this was an imbalance, and now it's like I just noticed how fucking big the imbalance is. Like, it's actually huge.
Don't get too into it though.
I'm like feeling it. I'm like, wow, that's fucking crazy.
Push it forward. Because he's going to be doing like glute kickbacks. Yeah. Yeah, with the face down on the bench. So a little bit more forward. Keep going, keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. More. It'll be almost all the way out. Yeah. Your back's okay. Big thing here, do not go into hyperextension. You're going to irritate the hell out of the nerve.
So should I like pelvic tilt forward?
Don't pelvic tilt. I don't want you to worry about that. All I'm saying is when you do extend up and use your glutes, just don't hyperextend. You'll know exactly when it irritates you and when it doesn't. Okay. So go ahead and we're gonna get both legs right now first.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it down to your legs. All right. There's no weight on it right now. I just want you to let it go down first. Come down, come down, come down. Press back up. Squeeze through your glutes. Good. Hold that there for a second. Okay. Take a second. Yeah. I'm gonna have you come down a little bit more, and I want to put some weight on the bar. Now we're gonna do like, we're gonna do 10-second negatives with this. All right. It's going to be extremely long, but that's just the way we have to go about it.
Okay.
Go ahead, let it down. You're pretty even. Let it stretch, let it stretch. Just get a couple reps in before we start the negatives. Press up, squeeze the glute, and back down. Good, and back down. You okay? Any nerve pain?
No, I literally feel nothing.
You don't even feel your glutes?
Nope.
That's crazy.
I feel nothing.
They're very activated. Can you feel them based off your fingers?
Yeah, I feel them like they're actually like contracting, but I feel nothing.
From a perception standpoint, don't worry about it too much. Now I'm going to have you start from here and take them into 10-second negatives. Okay?
Okay.
I'm giving you the full weight. Just go real slow. All right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and press. Go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze. Good. Take a second to breathe. Intensity up. Go up a little bit.
What?
Feeling it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get that reverse. Want me to turn that more? No, leave it there. Can you feel your glutes? Get the reverse. You're good.
It's hard to kind of burn on the left one.
Yeah, like I said, because for people who have nerve-related injuries, man, like the negative is the only way you're going. It's not the only way. I hate speaking like that, but it's going to be one of the biggest ways you can start feeling that connection again. Because your body's just going to do exactly what it wants, no matter how much you try to go about it, until you start really, really breaking it down. Good Lord. So I want you to focus on that again. Like I said, that negative. So just the fact that you can even get a little bit of stimulation is a good sign, but we have to reinforce that as much as possible. 1. Breathe. Okay.
Wow. Honestly, I never thought I'd have to do this shit.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Just these specific exercise.
It's very specific. Compared to the first one that you did in that left glute, did you feel the same intensity? Did you feel it slightly more? Do you feel like it's slowly building up?
I would say it felt kind of the same. I think, like, I don't feel any contraction there.
Yeah.
But if I could feel the
Muscle work.
the metabolic, like the lactic acid build up.
Yeah.
Okay. This one fatigues way faster.
Yeah.
Like this one, I feel the contraction.
Yep.
And it feels like it just keeps going. This one like, immediately starts to get tired.
Okay.
But I don't feel any actual like sensation other than the.
I mean, like,
the
think about it
metabolic
this way.
stress.
The nerve's completely compressed, or it's a large amount compressed. There's a high chance you're not going to feel sensation.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, from a contractile standpoint, it is occurring because, like, when you feel your glutes, you can feel them contracting. That's why you put your hands on them. So I'll take that from a sensational standpoint. Yeah, you're not feeling the sensation. The reality is we are going to lose somewhere, right? And so we got to work with what we got. So I'm okay with this. We're going to go again. I might have you try it single-legged if your balance is doable, but if not, we'll keep it to double.
Okay.
Might actually just have you switch over to single leg glute bridges after this instead.
Why do we have it on my right glute too? If that's the stronger glute.
That's just because I'm passing the current through that way. That's the only reason I have it on that side. I can flip it over to this side. I don't care if you want to get this one on camera, but I will put it so that way I want to see if it gives you a better response. Sorry if we're getting this on camera.
It's okay, shoulders blocking it.
This will be the thumbnail.
Changing his diaper.
All right, let's go ahead and get that going again. What do you want to do? Let's just turn it up a little slowly, but get them to 15 first, and then go slow from there.
Do we not want it as high as we had it that day?
No.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Because that, what's up? Turn the timer on first and push the timer up. Yep, keep going.
This shit could literally burn your skin.
Take it up to 10. Oh, yeah, there's cases where people have literally had holes in their skin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it'll cook humans. Hit start.
Compression off through this whole
Program.
face.
Yes.
That's the whole.
That's like the whole theory behind it. If that's the case, then sweet, awesome. Your symptoms are lesser. Like you said, even if you feel a remote change already from the stuff that you've been doing, dude, to me, that's a really good sign.
Yeah.
Right? So we hit it last week for the first time with that machine. You're also doing this program. A couple of those two things together, ideally, and by the end of the 8 weeks, like, you're in a spot that's 10 times better than where we were.
Yeah.
Right? And even if it's not 100%, the fact that if we ran through it one time and we see some form of progression, then maybe we just run through it like another time and see if that's the case, right? But at the end of the day, 16 weeks isn't that long compared to what it could be, or compared to what like we need to do surgery.
Yeah.
So that's how I would still look at it. I wouldn't be in a rush to get surgery by any means,
No,
but I would
no.
definitely go and get opinions while I'm doing this program. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know, just see what other people say, see what the surgeons say, and to go from there. Because some surgeons like, hey man, like a discectomy would definitely be like the best option, and like you could easily, like he feels very confident or she feels very confident that this could be like the right thing for you, then why not?
If I just like pull myself apart so much, it sucks it back in.
That'd be great if that's how it works.
So I'm thinking, what if I just like get like a cable pulley system, fucking put this on a bench, and like pull myself apart?
So largely why I'm getting the belt squat is that, right? It's a very like different way of looking at it, but essentially it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can load it with like 400 pounds, and you can still just, all you got to do is just stand up. Now 400 pounds are pulling you down. That's why I'm getting the
That's a good idea.
So that's why I want to see how much of that works. But realistically, just like anything else, just like your inversion table, it's good for that short-term period, but this thing actually going to allow the discs to go back inside. It's not how discs work. I wish it was that simple.
So the decompression doesn't let it go.
Decompression will give you relief. We use decompression for relief. It's temporary, but like we need to get it to where we need it to be, right? But it's not. It's never going to be. Decompression is not the reason that a disc goes back inside. That's just over time, and it usually typically happens based off like the actions that you have on a daily basis, right? And as long as you're not being dumb or stupid in the gym,
Yeah.
that's where you're going to see a disc potentially go back and be resorbed. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't, and our body just builds tolerances to have that. That's why we practice these movements in a slow, controlled environment. More often than not, discs aren't even going to resorb. Your body's just going to build a tolerance, and now all of a sudden you just really don't have pain. That's where it happens with most people. So that's like the direction we want to go in regardless, right? If it resorbs or not, if this program allows you to have a decrease in pain and decrease in the symptoms, that's a win,
Yeah.
right? And the disc could still be there.
Yeah.
So take it how you will. But that's why I want to look into the discectomy. 10 seconds again. This is what I meant when the first time I met you. Like, hey man, like a lot of your movements you might have to take down to a 10-second negative. And in certain cases, you might even have to take it further. It seems so overkill and seems so overdone. But like even like when you said over there, like, oh my God, I kind of almost felt it. You know? But that's why you have to. With nerve damage, it can take that long. Like it just takes, you just have to be in that position for a long enough period and just feel it out. I think it was Mike Van Wyck that recently just did a post on it too, saying the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Ready? Go ahead. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. 10. Even just reading over the program, like they have you hinging with the broomsticks. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. So obviously it's already like an increase in intensity and movement patterns. It's not so much just warm up based stuff.
No.
It's
Well, it's like I'm doing that, but I'm also still fucking going in the gym and like doing it.
You're still doing your heavy ass like
Because like some of that stuff, like some of it's hard. It's not hard. It's just like painful.
Yep.
You know, like shit I'm not used to. Don't have the stability, like the hip hikes, the switches. Like I'm getting better, but it's like the pelvic tilts. Like it's like little shit, but like the hinges and shit's like I've done that for the past 10 years. Like I could fucking hinge fine.
What I want you to try now is going to be like a type of plank on your side, but it's not necessarily going to be a plank. I'll have you demonstrate it really quick. I'll have you step up just so you can kind of see it. So we'll go right arm down. I'm going to have you step away for a second. Both legs are going to be up on here.
You want both legs up?
Yeah, I want both legs up. So not a Copenhagen, but honestly, if you want to put both flat, one flat or one staggered, doesn't really matter. However you want to go about it. Yeah, arm fully. Yeah, you can keep forearm down, dip the hip down, and all the way up. Good. Just like that. I want to see good side first, then I want to see bad side.
This is for
This
glute.
is going to be more so for erectors, not necessarily glutes.
Oh.
This is going to be a full stability-based thing and building rigidity. I want to see how that compression.
So then this would be
feels
my good
for
side.
you. Yeah, but either way, with just the way your symptomology is, it could be either or. Good. Let it come down. Good. Feel okay?
Yeah.
Any pain?
No.
Good. Can you really see his scoliosis from that side, or is it just movement?
But I can see his right erector working.
Yeah.
with each wrist.
All right, switch over. I want to see the other side. 4, 5, 7. Yep. Keep going. 8. Good. 9. One more. 10. Good. Relax. Take a breather. Talk to me. Any pain on that?
No?
No.
Not really.
Wow, that's surprising. Either side, because you're getting compression on both sides of your spinal column and you're not getting any pain. And your erector is firing really well
Yeah, no.
on the right side. All right, let's flip it back over. We're going to go 10 for 10 on each side. So this left one's fine. It's the right one that's shot. But when you're on this side, his right one's firing like crazy too. Even if he doesn't feel it. Right erector stops with, yeah. Get lower. There you go. Like I said, full range matters. Good. One more. Good job.
Other side.
Yep. This is something that you really want to start practicing.
This?
Yeah. This probably will be better for you than farmer's carries will be.
Really? Farmer carries are fucking hard.
They're
I feel like
hard,
I feel like I'm gonna fall over every time.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just from a weight standpoint. If you can just get it to a point where the weight's just so much heavier than like your own personal body weight. You know what I mean? Like if you weigh how much?
190?
Yeah, you take 190. You start doing a farmer's carry with 100 pounds. It's already more than half your weight. It's naturally going to be hard to just balance that.
I feel like I'm gonna fall over with a 40-pound weight.
Yeah, I mean, that's from your scoliosis. But this, like, from an expanding the spine from one side to the other, is ideally probably going to be a better movement for you in general. Like getting ranges of motion in, right?
Yeah.
With your disc still being compressed and like being able to do that full range, rather build this tolerance. Farmer's carries will do a great job building rigidity and stability.
Yeah.
But like from a movement standpoint,
I should be able to do that and not feel like I fall over.
A farmer's carry?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point is to feel like you're not falling over.
I should be able to do it with more weight. I
Yes,
should be able to hold 50 pounds and be able to walk without feeling like I tip over.
I mean, how many times do you do farmer's carries in your last 8 years?
No, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, it's even from a skill standpoint, you've never practiced it.
No, I'm saying that's bad though,
Why?
because I have no stability.
Have you done it before?
No, it's bad. That's what I'm saying.
So are you just saying it's bad? Or
I'm saying that I should do them.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
saying-
I agree with you. You should do that.
Like
But
I
I'm
should have more stability.
Yes, but that's why you're doing them. You're going to build on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Give me 10.
But no pain with them.
Nope.
Which is so surprising.
To be able to stabilize in that position and dip like that and not get any irritation is what you have.
Yeah.
Um,
If you said
That's good.
if you said one side didn't have pain, I'd be like, okay, that makes total sense. But for it to not have pain on either side is very surprising.
No, I don't even. No.
moving through it, bro.
I feel more.
Feel more what?
Let me see. If I do them like this, I feel it more. From the floor, like a regular side
Go
plank.
ahead. Let me see it.
Feel
Yeah.
more pain.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really feel much right now, but like I could feel something that I don't feel there. Like I would typically feel it more.
But I'll still take that, right? That little something that you're feeling, I'm okay with that, right? Like I expect you to have some form of symptom while we do this movement.
But why are you saying that? Why is it weird that?
Because
I know.
dude, the amount of like lateral flexion that you're having is like through the roof while you're doing this movement. So for you to not have any symptoms from your disc is like crazy. It makes no sense because of like your disc having such a significant protrusion or extrusion, whatever you want to call it. And we're doing it on a deficit too, right?
I feel it there.
Okay.
Right here.
You feel it there as much as you usually feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. But then on the other side, nothing.
Barely.
Okay. Do that stance again for me?
This?
Yeah. I was gonna say, clean it up for me a little bit. Bend the knees a little bit. Feel it there.
Yeah, I mean, it's like stretching the nerve. That's what it feels like. So the more I get here, it's less.
Yeah.
More I have this.
Straight and
Yeah.
slowly. Yeah. It's okay. How severe?
I mean, right there, maybe like a 5.
You know, we're gonna get what's that?
So we don't want that.
The hyperextension. Well, it makes sense, right? Like hyperextension is what ticks you off.
But I thought you wanted me to do the.
I want you to extend
The
slightly.
reverse hypers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the hyperextension from a movement standpoint and hyperextension from what's occurring at your joint. Two
Yeah.
very different things. Reverse hyper is like, yeah, it's called a hyperextension. Do that movement, this and that. That's fine. What I'm saying is don't hyperextend itself. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
don't.
hyperextension, like overdoing it to the point to which it's going to cause like your symptoms. doing the hyperextension bench is like what I want you to do.
But you eventually you want me to just come to a neutral.
Yeah, I want you to come to a neutral. That's really why I want you to droop your shoulders.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go into like such severe hyperextension for no reason. So now we're gonna have you actually do some good mornings. I'm gonna wipe you down with a towel.
But I'm fucked.
What'd you say?
I said I'm fucked.
You turn around. I'm hooking those glute ones back up too. Come over here. All right, let's get under the bar. We're gonna go slightly outside of shoulder width in terms of grip with your hands. Not the hands, sorry, I meant in terms of your feet. Grab the things from the front. Yeah. All right, so you're probably good right about there. Go ahead, let me go ahead. Shoot your glutes back. As you come up, let your hands and the bar come up a little bit. Yep, go ahead, keep pushing back. Let the bar come up on your back more. Yeah, keep letting it go. Good. And back up. Good. Go ahead. How much of nerve pain do you get when you do that?
None.
Okay. Even with the traction on the nerve while you're doing this? Kind of surprised.
Not really. I mean, I feel it. Like I'm like being thrown off here. Like just standing here, I feel it on this leg.
Yeah.
But nothing changes as I go through the movement.
Okay. Talk to me, what are we feeling?
Nothing really.
In terms of stretches and the muscles, which muscles do you feel?
My hamstrings.
You are. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And up. Good. Give me one more. Good. Rear racket. And breathe. Take a second. We're gonna do 3 total sets there. Sheesh. It's like almost like at the bar. How close are we? We're just touching it. You let it go, just be careful.
Oh, because of this.
I thought we had it measured exactly, but I think we may have moved the rack a little bit.
This is bolted in.
No, not yet. We're waiting until our final, like once the bell squat's in and we moved everything just one more time, like once I'm completely set on how it is, then I'll bolt it, because I've moved things.
Every day.
Yeah, just about. So
Okay.
I'm not going to do it until I'm like set for sure.
All right.
So the fact that we're getting hamstring engagement is awesome. I know we're getting glute activation just because I'm seeing it happen. You're not going to have the sensation, right? That's the biggest thing that you lost with the compression on the nerve, is sensation for you is like the one big thing that's gone. Contractile ability is there, but sensation's gone, right? So that's like a huge like downfall, because like we base everything of our training off of sensation. So that's one of those things that is going to be really hard for you to like recreate right now.
Yeah.
But if from a mechanical standpoint, we're going to have to do certain things, right? Like a lot of like bodybuilders now talk about like feel isn't everything. I'm not a huge fan of that. But in your case, feel isn't going to be everything.
Yeah.
Like you have a real reason as to why that works.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just the reality of it. Now, if your mechanics were so bad, where I'm like, man, you're never gonna. Like a lot of people come in, they're like, I don't feel this, I don't feel that, and I look at the way they work out, and it's usually that's what it is. But your mechanics are perfect, right? Your mechanics are perfectly fine. You are getting that engagement. It's fine. Unfortunately, you're not going to feel it until we figure out the disc thing, right?
Why are we doing this instead of RDLs?
One, because I just like the stabilization of both sides going in, because you have such a big contralateral issue. I want to address both sides at one time. And from the RDL is giving you way more nerve traction than I wanted to. So I'd rather go ahead and do this. Like you said, you don't feel it on this one, so it's a little bit better. And it's going to engage a little bit more erector by doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, because your erector on that side is like significantly atrophied, glute on that side significantly atrophied. Knowing that I can put you in a position where I can address both those things is ideal. Makes sense?
So I should still be doing bilateral stuff.
Yeah, to an extent. Not all of it on your own. Like I don't want, because like even like when you send me the video and stuff of you doing the high knees, I know it's really subtle little thing, but when you do it and you're just like doing them just to do the movement sometimes, I don't want you to do all your bilateral stuff that way.
Yeah.
And we're doing it specifically because we have this facilitating the activation. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest difference.
Okay.
Like even though you can't feel your erector firing, I can literally walk up to you behind your back and be like, dude, it's
I can
hard
feel
as-
my erector.
Well, I'm saying like
Yeah.
just as an example, right? And even the glute, like you can't necessarily feel it firing, but from the facilitated like stimulation, it is.
Yeah.
Umar said he's heavily leaning towards the microdiscectomy, but again, I've heard this a lot, and I do trust Umar. I trust everybody. I trust a lot of guys that I see. That's why I see them. But ultimately, the type of person that I am and the type of person I always have been, and it's the reason why I've been able to get this far, in my honest opinion, is because I am somebody who thinks for myself. you know, I see these people and I listen to everything they say. I take it all into consideration and I learn throughout this process. I don't just, like, I wouldn't just go to somebody like Umar and just take everything he says as gospel and be like, this guy knows everything. Obviously, smart fucking dude, knows his shit. But it's like, I'm going to do the research on my own and put the pieces together and figure out, you know, what I think is going to be the best call of action for me, essentially. And that's how I've always approached everything in life, is not to just listen to what one person says blindly and just follow it. It's to, you know, do the critical thinking yourself and figure shit out for yourself and put the pieces together. That's how you get the furthest. But I'm not even sure where I was going with that. Why did I say that? Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of shit I got to do. It's a lot of little tedious shit that nobody wants to do. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, it fucking sucks. It's very boring. It's shit that I don't want to do. And I wish that I could go into the gym right now and train like a fucking animal and go in there and start screaming and pick up the 150s and train how I love to train. But that has been taken from me. And there's the only thing I could do is focus on what's going to, you know, get me back to that. If I sit here and dwell on it and fucking start shooting painkillers down my throat and say it's over, which most people do, I fucking have seen that firsthand for many years of my life. Addiction to painkillers, people with fucking pain that they can't get over, don't ever, you know, get up to work through the problem. They just let it consume their life. That is my alternative, and that's not where I'm going to end up. I will never let that happen to me. So this is the shit that I need to do to get back to living the life that I want and to be able to go back to basically achieving my dreams. So it's all part of the process. But with everything in life, there is always a silver lining, and like I said, there's a lot to learn from the situation. It's things that I'm going to, you know, be able to relate to clients. Obviously, I'm not a professional, but just being able to learn about all these different aspects of mobility, stability, you know, the spine, it's going to make me a more knowledgeable person, a better coach, and it's going to be able to help me guys educate you guys as well along the way. So there is always a silver lining, and there's good in every bad situation. So that's the way that I try to see it. Even though it does suck, there's no point in sitting here and dwelling over it. It is what the fuck it is, and really, it's my fault. I should have paid closer attention to this when I was younger, but it is what it is. There's no point in even thinking about that. But here we are now, and we're just getting started. Because I've only been doing this for a couple weeks now, so I guess we'll just see how the next few months go. And yeah, you guys will stick around for the ride. It's a test. They're testing me. Life tests you. They don't want me to give up. They want me to succumb to pain. It's not gonna happen. I will win. I will win, with or without surgery. I will fucking fight through this. That's all I know. That's all that matters. And that's all I really got. It's time to go to the gym. Thanks for tuning in.